Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Celta Vigo against Real Madrid. First of all, I would like to say happy birthday to Real Madrid. Um, Today, the date of the game is the 124th birthday for this football club, and um, yeah, it's a special day. Real Madrid's existence was created 124 years ago on this day. So obviously, really proud as a fan of this moment. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, people are gonna say you support this club because Real Madrid were winning. Honestly, I don't know how to explain this, but the reason I supported Real Madrid and I got into football in general, but I got into Real Madrid was literally as a kid who had no interest in football when I was growing up, and just one game on the TV, and it was a Champions League final in 2018, and I didn't even know what a Real Madrid or what a Liverpool was at that point. I just saw this team and I was like, they look like they're a good team, and ultimately, you know, it's Real Madrid, right? And yeah, I mean, I remember those days, really special moments. I wish we could go back to those days, of course, but you know, um, hopefully things do get better for this club because I said in my last video, last review, we are a mess. We are a complete mess, and ultimately, this season is not gonna be saved. Whether we win, draw, or even lose at Celta, which is a possibility, of course, because we literally lost to them at home. Anything that we do from now on, any result we get, positive or negative, it doesn't matter because La Liga is over, and I think the Champions League is over. We've got Man City next week and the week after, but the fact is we're not playing like a team that can beat anyone. I don't look at any team that plays us and believe that we will definitely beat them now because I just don't have the confidence. I'm sure we'll win games, definitely. I just don't know which ones. And if we're not gonna be able to win every game from now on, as we are not, we are gonna win games, but we're not gonna win every game. And if you can't win every game, that's a problem. Because if you don't win every game, and Barcelona pretty much are, and the team that wins the Champions League is going to win every game to win the Champions League, you're not gonna win anything. So it's gonna be another season where it's trophyless, but you know, just bring on next season, man, please. But yeah, bit of negativity there, but happy with the Real Madrid. 124 years. Now, I want to sort of talk a bit more about the Rodrigo injury because I didn't really talk too much about it. Because the last video was actually a re-record, so I recorded it and then I realized, oh, Rodrigo just got injured, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a new video because may as well, because I was gonna make a separate video anyway, so I may as well just make it into one. But I didn't really talk too much about Rodrigo's injury, but obviously he did tear his ACL. He also did tear, I think, his MCL as well, which isn't tearing both at the same time. I don't think is too common. I think a lot of times players tear their ACL, and you know, it's obviously really painful and it's a really tough period of time for them. But this is a lot more serious because it can keep him out for probably close to a year. And we're talking, what, 7, 8 months to 10, 11 months. And not only is he going to miss the World Cup, he'll miss the start of the season, and he'll miss probably the first, what, 4 months of the season. And I'm not going to say Rodrigo's career at Real Madrid is over because I don't believe it is. But it's going to be really hard for him to get back in because you're going to miss so much training, so much of preseason, so much of football, just working on the pitch in training to match day to playing, all sorts. The intensity levels, you're gonna miss the most moderate to the higher intensity. You're gonna miss everything. And to get back in, next January, next December, it's gonna be so tough. And I feel so sorry. I really do. And I love Rodrigo. I love every Real Madrid player. I do. But Rodrigo is obviously a player who has done a lot for this club in terms of what he's done against Man City in the 21-22 season and the 23-24 season. And there's so many games where he has been outstanding and he has been the highlight. And arguably he's been better than Vini Jr. And just injuries, man, because with Vini Jr., there's a great player in him, but the consistency is very on and off. With Rodrigo, there's a great player in him, but the injuries, man, yeah, really sad, really, really is. On top of that, there is an injury crisis again. I mean, just when you didn't think it could get any worse, for Real Madrid, we are going to be missing, how many players is that? Like 10? More than 10. So, let me just run through the injuries. So, we know that obviously Bellingham and Militao were already out. So was Mbappe. And that was 3 players that were injured. In terms of who else is injured, I think Raul Asensio, I think he is a bit of touch and go. I think in terms of whether he can make it or not. I think he will be in the squad. It's just whether he starts. And if he doesn't start, you're expecting Joan Martinez or, Lamine Fati. And I know people are obviously making fun of his name, but you're expecting one of those 2 guys to come in and do a job away at Celta Vigo, a tough place to go. So, I'm obviously saying that if Raul Asensio is not fully fit or close to 70, 18, 100%, if he's not close, you don't start him. You have to go with one of the younger players like Joan Martinez. If he is and he's ready, I still think Raul Asensio is better than Joan Martinez. I still think so. But I don't think it's day and night. I don't think so. I think just about. But he has the experience. He has played many games in La Liga already. And again, I don't think there's a good excuse to not start younger players and youth players. But if Raul Asensio is available, he's starting. Let's just make it clear. Who else is injured? Flipping heck. Dani Ceballos is out for a long term. David Alaba is out at least for this game. Not sure if he'll be back for Man City and beyond. And then in terms of suspension, Mastantuono picked up the red card. He's suspended. Carreras and Dean Huijsen both picked up yellow cards. And they're, I think, up to 5 now. So they are both suspended for this game as well. So, lots of mess. It's a chaos. You've got injuries everywhere in the midfield, the defense, the attack. You have got suspensions in the defense. It's just chaos. And look at the team, man. Like, how many times this season have we gone into a game and actually thought we're going to start Ferland Mendy, Brahim Diaz, and we're going to do a partnership of Rudiger and Asensio all together? Like, none. And why do you think we're doing this? It's not because we want to. It's because we have no choice. And when you are left with no choice until this extent, it's a freaking joke. Let's be real. And I just don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say. So I'm just gonna leave it there. But Celta Vigo, they are doing well. They are 6th, and they obviously beat us earlier on this season, right? Now, this is a team that have literally won 4 of their last 4 games in all comps. and at home they are a good team. They were obviously away because they beat us. I'm gonna just keep bringing that up because that obviously was a terrible day. But their last home game was against PAOK in the Europa League. They won 1-0 in the playoff. Um, Previously, their last home game in La Liga was against Mallorca, which they won 2-0. And then their last home game was before that was against Osasuna. They lost 2-1, but we can't laugh at them for losing, because we have done so ourselves. Um, and then yeah, they're going back to January. They've got some home games. They beat Lille. They beat Rayo Vallecano. They smashed Valencia. But that was back in January. Um, as far as I know it, they're a good team at home, and I'm worried. I'm worried because this is a team that have something to play for. We have just played Getafe, and we also played Osasuna. Two teams that arguably are going to finish around that mid-table zone that are not going to fight for Europe, right? Because I know mathematically they are still... Nah, they're not really. You know, they're what, 7... Yeah. Osasuna are 7 points behind Celta Vigo, and Getafe are 8. So they are not really Conference League contenders, right? They are just gonna finish maybe 7th, maybe 8th, but most likely 10th or 11th. They are gonna finish literally mid-table. And we lost. We lost both games. We played terribly in both games. And now we're playing against a team that's gonna be hungry. They're gonna be up for it. They're going to want to win because they won Europe again. They got it last season. This year they might not get Europa League. Depends whether they can chase down Real Betis. But they won at least some form of European competition to keep going. Right? And maybe they can win the Europa League, who knows. But they want to do well in the league. And they're in a good position. They're on course to do well. And they're at home. They already beat us away anyways. But more so at home. The crowd's going to be there. The atmosphere is going to be there. They are hungry. And we are not playing well. We can't string a pass together. We cannot defend on the pitch, on the ground, or in the air. In the attack, we misplace passes every freaking time, and it's all pass to Vinny Jr. and let's see what can happen. And I'm supposed to take confidence out of this. I don't even need to go through their players. Like, let's do it. Aspas, Iglesias, Svetberg, Zaragoza. They've got Pablo Duran. They've got Ferran Jukla. Like, this is definitely a top 10 squad in La Liga. They have a better squad than Getafe. They've got a better squad than Osasuna. Come on, like, put the pieces together. I don't want to say we're gonna lose, or at least I don't want to say it because I hate saying it. But if there's ever going to be a game that Real Madrid lose, it's these kind of games. Because we already proved last week and the week before that we can lose these kind of games. But before we get into that, the score predictions, I'm just going to run through the team quickly. Courtois in goal, build this man a statue. Left back, Carreras is suspended, so it's going to be either Mendy or Fran Garcia. Take your pick. I still prefer Mendy. Centre backs, Rudiger and Raul Asensio, if he's fit. If not, it's going to be John Martinez or maybe Lamine Fati. Right back, Trent. I still think he has to start. Midfield, Aurelien Tchouameni as the holding. I don't know if Camavinga is back, but I don't think that... I've said this so many times. When Zidane was... I wish Zidane was here. When Alonso was here, and when Arbeloa took charge, and since I've said this, right? I don't want to see a midfield of Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Valverde. And if Camavinga's out, we get to see a more balanced midfield in Goulet, Tchouaméni, and Valverde. No Masantuono, I've seen him get a lot of hate. Look, I think the red card was such a stupid, decision from him in terms of why is he doing that. We're losing 1-0. I know you're frustrated, but you have to keep the maturity and you have to keep it in you. And he's young, he's lacking that maturity on the pitch, and that's fair enough. But it doesn't mean that obviously he's gonna get away with it. And I still think he's a good player with good potential and something to prove. But maybe Brahim Diaz at this moment in time is a better pick, and he's the only one we have anyways. On the right, Gonzalo Garcia up front, he's the only one we have through the middle, and Vinny Jr. on the left because he's the only one we have on the left. So I think that tells you all you need to know. The attack is literally all we have. The midfield, yeah, and the defense is pretty much bare bones as well. So it's not a good look. Score predictions, I hate doing this. I'm gonna go Celta Vigo 2, Real Madrid 1. And you're gonna say, how can you predict a loss? Look, add everything I said together. The squad is not playing well. We cannot get a pass together. We have injuries all over the pitch. We've just lost our last 2 games, including one at home, with more players available than this game. Celta Vigo beat us earlier this season. Celta Vigo are 6th and have something to play for, which is to get European football. And Celta Vigo are at home, and they've got the atmosphere and the crowd. And we don't do well when we go to teams that are low in the league, away from home. We don't tend to do well. So you put all 7 and 8 of those factors that I just literally listed together, there's no way I am going to sit here and sugarcoat the fact that we are going to win. I'm not going to pretend. Because it's easy to say Celta Vigo 0, Real Madrid 7. Like, it's easy to put out anything. But if we're being realistic and we're looking at it based on situational, I have to say a loss. Obviously, I want to be proven wrong. Obviously, I want Real Madrid to do the less likely, which is to win. Obviously, I want it to happen. But I need for it to happen before I can believe. And I just don't know where I can get that sort of optimism from. I've said this many times. I don't know where to get it. I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hit the mistake, enjoy today's video, subscribe to channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.